Now, you may think I'm a bit of a hippie, and I can tell you that I definitely am. Most women are in that right brain space, and it's a very lovely space to be in, and we love being in it. This is not an anti-men rap, really not. I love men. I have a son, I have 2 grandsons, an ex-husband, and anyway, but mostly I.
Bath is an astonishingly creative city. We know that there are many, many great creative practitioners, great creative businesses, aspirant creatives at the universities. We did some research about the creative sector, and it so turns out that the creative industries contribute more to the city than retail and tourism combined, which is sort of astonishing. We have to fly the flag for creativity through the city, and that's for companies who are not necessarily creative themselves, but I would hope recognise the success, recognise the economic importance to the city of creative businesses and support it. We're absolutely delighted to have someone who exemplifies in so many ways the power of creativity. Lynne, if you don't mind me saying, you left school at 16, started your own business at 21, Lynne Franks PR, and through dint of insight, force of personality, creativity, created an amazing PR powerhouse, and since then has become an absolute exemplar of what powerful women with great ideas can achieve. I hope tonight you're going to find her inspiring. I'm certainly personally greatly looking forward to see what she has to say. Lynne Franks.
I have put together a little presentation for you which covers my life, but also, I hope, covers aspects of yours too. What I've been doing, as I say, for the last 20 years really, is working with women's empowerment. Seed is what I do, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about what I do at Seed, but I'm going to take you on a little journey to begin with. This is me when I was young, and a woman called Sue Klaus, and she designed all the clothes for Boy George, if you remember the old days, and Culture Club. And I was running a fashion PR company. As you may recognise this, and I don't mind talking about this at all, this is what came out of it. And it's a very interesting position to be in, if you can imagine. This comes up on television just as I've kind of come out of that career and going on a spiritual journey. And then every week there's this thing up on TV which everybody really gets confused about, because people really think it's me, and I even start thinking it's about me as well. Well, it was to a degree. I was PR for Jennifer Saunders and Dawn. I was one of the people, I think, that was the amalgamation of the character, but I did introduce them to the fashion industry. So here we are in the fashion days, and that's obviously, you know, that is Alex Shulman, who's the editor of Vogue, and that was me being PR for London Fashion Week. And it was a huge successful time at that point, because we had we had Diana as an ambassador, we had other people as ambassadors, and we also had this famous picture, which some of you may remember, my great friend Catherine Hamlet, and I took her to a Buddhist exhibition called Choose Life, and that's where she got inspired to do those t-shirts. And of course she wore this to a reception at Number 10, and that became the most used news shot of that particular time around the world, actually. Sold the business, became chair of a women's radio station, which was fairly short-lived but great experience, and went to China. And it was the Beijing UN Women's Conference. And I went there to find out what was happening for women all over the world. It was the biggest gathering of women that had ever come together then or now. And this is not an anti-men rap, really not. I love men. I have a son, I have 2 grandsons, an ex-husband. And anyway, but mostly I do like men. And the fact is that it is up to us together, women and men together, the enlightened women and men, to work together to create a gender-balanced society, and a different kind of society than we live in now, because it cannot go on the way it is. So I came back with Seed, and I'd always seen it as a gateway to learning programs for women's empowerment. The systems have got to change. Clearly they've got to change. And leadership is going to be very, very different, actually. And it's going to be women and men leading in a different way. Most women are in that right brain space, and it's a very lovely space to be in. We have to bring the left and right together, and the future is about the balance. The present and the past has been, as we know, very, very much the left side of the brain. There's nothing wrong with up here, but it has to be balanced out with what's here as well. And that's me. Welcome to the mad old world of Lynne Franks. And I'll end up by saying, at 64 years old, I'm still looking to see what I'm going to do when I grow up. So.